Welcome back to another edition of Yahweh 112's Sunday Funday. So we are having another awesome week here. Glad to have you back. Thank you for showing up today. This week's scripture, Ephesians 5:15 through 17. So be careful how you live. Don't live like fools, but like those who are wise. Make the most of every opportunity in these evil days. Don't act thoughtlessly, but understand what the Lord wants you to do. With that, let's jump into some beta play of Black Ops Cold War. Alright guys, we made it here to Miami. So let's check it out. So one quick note here before we jump kind of back into the normal commentary. I've left the background music out this week. I'm leaving the natural sound of the video game in so you guys can hear that a little bit better. I'll give a couple different spots in there for it to breathe so you can hear it. As far as my settings go, when you see my gameplay, I pulled it off of Insane. I set it at 13 on both the horizontal and vertical sensitivity, just so I can kind of jump in. You'll see that I kind of do the slides and do all that stuff that a lot of people hate. But I do run a very fast-paced game generally here, especially in Kill Confirmed. And we don't have any... here in Team Deathmatch, but also in Kill Confirmed I do that. So that's just kind of my general run and gun and multiplayer flow. So that's what you'll be seeing here. But jumping back in kind of to the weekly commentary, some of the stuff just in this scripture is pretty simple. It goes on to get a lot more depth and is really awesome. And I actually love Ephesians a ton. So I could hang out there quite a bit, and you may see that kind of come up. Let me just go through the whole book at some point, but hey, why not? It's a great book. But there's some warnings here, and then it goes on after these verses to a couple other warnings and some encouragements at the same point. So it's just some real good stuff to go here. I mean, if you're not careful how you live, and you're not mindful of those things you're doing, you're going to find yourself in trouble pretty quickly. You're going to find yourself in some bad situations pretty quickly. And just like here, it's just telling you, it's like, don't live like fools, but like those who are wise. Quick tip, pro tip, if you want to kind of learn the differences between fools and those who are wise, I've got 31 great chapters to help you out. Proverbs 1, Proverbs 2, Proverbs 3. Yep, figured it out. There's a pattern here. The book of Proverbs. Grab a book a day. So if today's the 11th, read Proverbs 11 for the day. It's a simple way to get a very simple devotional in and to pick up wisdom along the way. That is why King Solomon was known to be one of the greatest kings of times, because he asked God for wisdom. So just kind of be aware of that. I mean, just check out that book as well. Proverbs is another great book. I love it. But once you start to kind of let the Lord speak to you and bring that wisdom to you and kind of point out those different things that are wise and not wise, kind of lean into that. I mean, there's no reason not to. It's a little bit nicer to run around life not feeling like a fool. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have fun at times. There's definitely times me and the guys kind of have some fun times, joke around stuff, and that's just part of what life is, and that's a good thing. But that's not the same as being foolish or wise, so don't always correlate those two together. Oh, we're just having a good time. That's fine. But let wisdom be king there and know when is a good time to have a good time. And when is a good time to not have a good time? That's where wisdom comes in. So just make sure you guys are running into that. And then I love this other part here. Like, make the most of every opportunity in these evil days. And especially nowadays. I mean, you can kind of sense and see the general evil all around us. It's a crazy world we're living in. But in light of that, we are encouraged through the scriptures to make the most of every opportunity. So don't run and hide in fear of all the evil out there. You don't have to do that. You can make the most of it. There's definitely plenty of opportunities to make the most of everything going on. In your area, whether that means complying with the law, whether it means standing up for what you believe in, different points, lean into the scriptures. Let God kind of guide you on what to do there. There's different things to do in different days, different seasons, different areas. But just kind of push into Him. Seek His wisdom. Ask Him for guidance in those things. That's really what's going to be king in most things is God's wisdom, God's will, God's timing. And that'll help give you a lot of good steps for everything you do. And that kind of leads right into this last part here. Don't act thoughtlessly. I've got young kids. I've got some older kids as well, too. And one of the simple things is, you know what happens is they both come running in the room. One of them's crying. One of them's complaining that I didn't mean to. I kicked him. Or my brother kicked me. Well, I didn't mean to. I was just doing that. And the simple thing around that I had to kind of work with most of my kids on is accidents happen, and that's okay. We could work with an accident. But I tried to constantly use those as small educational, coaching, mentoring, parenting opportunities. And the big thing was accidents are okay. And if you didn't mean to do it, let's figure out how we can work with your sibling to get them to understand. But you are still accountable for that. Now, these are bigger words than I would use with my 5-year-old. I get it. Maybe not. My wife tells me sometimes, oh, those are big words. I'm like, look at it eventually. Just trust me. Let me just kind of build in faith there. But the big thing is what I have to kind of coach them on and teach them on is, although you may not have meant to do it, you have to mean to not do it. My oldest son and my older of my younger sons, because there's about an 8-year gap in between my first two and then my youngest two. Both of the older two in each pair have, they don't hurt people, but they just kind of go about life, and sometimes, oh, that happened. My oldest son is definitely, he's grown a lot, matured a lot, but when he was younger, some of that same thing. But I have to work with both of those two on making sure that they are purposefully and thoughtfully being mindful to not hurt others. And sometimes that's what we have to do in life too. It's not always about, oh, I didn't mean to hurt them. Well, that's true. And accidents happen, but as you discuss it with them, with whichever person in your life, whether it be family, friend, coworker, or person on the street, you never know. If you didn't mean to do it, did you mean to not do it? And that's sometimes where we get ourselves into trouble, or miscommunication occurs, or people just get agitated with one another. So there's kind of two sides of that. One is, can we start looking and providing more grace to people in our lives because maybe they didn't mean to do that? And that could give an opportunity to have that discussion with someone and say, hey, I know this was what happened and you may not have meant to do it. But as we go forward in our friendship, would you please be a little bit more aware and mean not to do it? And the other thing is, without even having those discussions, sometimes we just need to be aware to not do things or to intentionally do things so that we are mindfully being kind to our neighbors, to our friends, to whomever it may be. So that's just one thing I want to kind of leave you guys with, is just how to be thoughtful in those things and ask the Lord to show you what He wants you to do. It could just be words. It could be actions. There's no telling. But just kind of open your heart to hear Him and seek His wisdom in these things. So there's a lot of different areas in life. Is it something that He's calling you to do in your own life directly with Him? Is He calling you in something with a family member, or is He calling you to do something with a friend or coworker even? You know, I'm not going to leave coworkers out. You never know what happens there. So just kind of go before the Lord. Just kind of take all this. I mean, these are 3 simple scriptures, but there can be a lot of depth in this, and I really hope you're able to get some awesome stuff out of this week. Keep tuned. I'm going to give a teaser. November 13th, go live day. We're going to be rocking on the PlayStation 5. We're going to have that up to date and ready to go. I'm getting the final kill cam here. What? Best play for Yahweh. But November 13th, keep your eyes out. I'm going to have a daytime launch day stream, and I'm going to have my normal Friday night streams. That'll be Friday the 13th. Check it out. Keep posted. So in order to keep posted, make sure you smash that like button, the subscribe button, the follow button, the notify button. Just smash all those little buttons everywhere. comment in there too if you want. We'd love to hear your feedback. We are glad to communicate with you on any of our social platforms. But guys, bless you. It's been a blast. Thanks for coming to hang out again. Bar Yahweh 112. I'm rolling out. Catch y'all later, guys. Hey, who touched the thermostat?